Happy Labor Day, everyone. It's good to be laboring here with all of you. Right? I'm a big proponent of work works, and really pleased as a program with the effort that we put forth, obviously, last week. First shutout since 2019, which is great. Obviously, tremendous effort by the defensive staff. I mean, those guys all summer long, all spring long have been in the defensive staff room and been stressing us offensively. They've been in there like cooking it up like they're wizards, and they did a great job with it on past Thursday night. And it was a great program effort, right? I thought the O-line did a tremendous job. The run game did a tremendous job. Was really able to control the ball. There's some real good complementary football. I mean, defense was out on the field for 26 snaps in the first half. They played a total of 55 in the game. So for all that's made about, the tempo hurts the defense, and in that standpoint, when you can manage and you can control the pace and the play of the game, really benefited everyone. Was really pleased with all the efforts. It was great to see Lucky, really step up and embrace the opportunity that he has earned. Chris did a great job defensively. Thought he really shined in individual capacity. Was really locked in, had great focus, and had an opportunity for some really game-changing plays. So was really pleased across the board. And obviously got a really tough opportunity here. Go on the road and see what we're made of as we go into a hostile environment against a good Washington State team that found a way to win against a really good Idaho team. So already onto the prep. Had a great little jog through this morning with the boys and everything. So in a good place, and like where we're at, and obviously plenty of room to get better.
What do you see about Washington State? What about them? What makes them good? What challenges do you guys have?
Yeah, I mean, they found a way to win, right? I mean, so good teams do that even when they don't necessarily have their A stuff, right? And you can tell that they got some really talented kids that, stepped up and found a way to win. You can see a young quarterback that, leaned on his training and went on a game-winning drive. That's not easy to do. They do a really good job formationally. They trade, shift, motion quite a bit, right? So they force you to communicate, do a good job getting leverage, extra hats to different gaps, and then their wideouts are still very, very talented, right? Defensively, they have 6 South Dakota State players who came over that are starters for them, right? So they have intimacy and knowledge of the scheme, and they own it, and they do a really good job with it. So again, there's 75 new players up there, if I'm not mistaken, right, with the transition and everything. 22 of them came over from South Dakota State. They're proven winners there at South Dakota State. Coach has done a great job there, obviously winning a national championship. He's got a good process. He's got a good plan. And again, like when push came to shove, when they needed stops, when they needed scores, they got that, right? And they found a way to win. And again, that's a trait of a good ball team. So we got to do a good job owning our process and, giving them the respect that they've earned, obviously, right? And know who they are and go up there and play our best ball.
Washington State did just 3 rushing yards in that game. Is that something that becomes a point of emphasis for you?
I mean, we talk since day one, since we've been here, right, about our plan to win is to control the controllables, to be able to run the ball, to be able to kill the run, and then to be the more physical special teams, right? And so, we've evaluated the tape. We've seen it. Obviously, they take pride in running it and listening to Coach Rogers' comments after their game, right? Like something that he was not proud of. So I know that we're going to get, a true fastball probably here with their run game and what they're going to do. So we got to do a great job, because of obviously who they are and the style of play that they want to be able to control the line of scrimmage. Well, that's what we want to do as well, right? And so we got to be locked in and dialed into our keys and to do a great job and play with great pad level and give multiple hats to the ball carriers to stop that run game that I know that they're going to be invested in.
Sean, can you gauge Denable's emotional level at the start of the game and then where he was as the game progressed in terms of either confidence or settling down, just understanding the live action?
I thought it was great throughout. I really did. There was a couple throws that he wished they would have had back, but I thought the way that he was seeing it, his competitive style and his competitive nature of play, like he did a really good job of knowing, when to take a hit, when not to take a hit, good decision making. But he was even keel through it all. I mean, whether it was a 13-play, 15-play scoring drive, or it was one of the 3 and outs that we had, like we came to the boundary and his response, his look in his eye was same as, right? Like, and that's what you want to have. You don't want a guy who's too high or too low. You want a guy who, is really steady as he goes, and I thought he was that Thursday night.
The fact that he practiced so much as Michigan's scout quarterback against their elite defense, does that give him an edge, or is practice nowhere near what live fire opening night is?
It's a great philosophical question. I think the environment that he was in and the environment that he gets to compete against each and every single day here against our defense, probably get him as close in those 2 arenas to what game day can be. But game day special, right? And I thought he handled the lights, and he handled the stage, and he handled the moment well. But that's because he approaches each day of practice like it's a game, you know? So just because the lights came on, just because there happened to be people that was there, and, you know, we got all dressed up and everything, his approach and his competitive spirit and competitive maturity looked very similar and reminiscent of, you know, Tuesday practice, which is awesome, which is what you want to see. But probably where he has a little bit of advantage from his experience of reps, whether it was at Michigan on the practice field or reps in the Big Ten, is just speed of the game, you know, is not a surprise to him. So, you know, he's able to operate, you know, at a comfortable pace because he knows what that is.
Can you speak to the versatility of your receivers, being able to line outside and slot? Bostic's two biggest plays was in the slot, even though he's listed as an outside receiver.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we want to have all of them to have position flex, right? Like, we even motioned Jordan back into the backfield, right? And obviously one of his superpowers is him running it with it, right? And so being able to put him in the backfield and give it to him, right? Like, we want to be able to, with all those guys, right, whether they're wide receivers, tight ends, running backs, like, they're offensive weapons, right? And so how can we move, manipulate, you know, kind of window dress, and we put a lot of time into some of the pre-snap thought process, right, of where we're putting those guys on the board, so to speak, as we do as much as what they're going to do post-snap as well, right? But so having guys that can be multifaceted and have a diverse skill set allows you to be more creative as a play designer and as a play caller, and, you know, really lets us dress some things up, you know, and have some fun with it. And then the guys own it, most importantly, right? Like, that, I think that's the really cool thing about it all, is that, you know, the guys, no matter where we put them or what we ask them to do, right, like, a lot gets made about, you know, Jordan's production, and, you know, he was the only guy with, you know, any kind of production coming back, right? Well, a lot of those third and shorts and goal-to-go situations, right? Like, Jordan's in there, like, really like an extra tight end, right? Like, going and securing a D gap on the backside so that we can have a big boy run. And, you know, sometimes those quote-unquote little guys are big guys as well, right?
Idaho's quarterback rushed for over 100 yards off the RPO game. That's something you guys obviously do have in offense. Is that an emphasis this week?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a piece of who we are, right? And so we're going to, again, utilize all the weapons that we do have, and, you know, try and build a plan that we feel our guys can own, that they can have confidence with, and have enough, you know, options in the repertoire that we can go execute at a championship level.
Washington State used 2 QBs against Idaho. Would you have that expectation on the same thing this week, and how do you prepare for each guy?
Yeah, I mean, unique question, right? As you kind of look at it, like, the Powder kid did a great job, right? Led to their production. Obviously, again, game-winning drive, early touchdown, really moved the offense well. But then Duggar's obviously a tremendous athlete and has a skill set as well, right? And so we are prepared for both, you know, and we'll see and we'll be ready. And then, again, even, you know, the young man who was up there before as well, right? Like, he's got a ton of collegiate snaps as well. So, you know, we're well-versed in all who their personnel is, right? We've done quite a bit of off-season prep, you know, on this one, and feel good about, you know, whoever is out there. And, again, owning the plan defensively that we have in place for regardless of who the quarterback is, you know, but they all do present a different, unique challenge.
Elsewhere on their roster, on their depth chart, they have a lot of oars.
Yeah.
But does that even impact you, or are you guys prepared for anything?
Yeah, I mean, you know, going into that, there was a ton of oars. Then you turn on the tape, and, I mean, the guys who played the bulk of it, right? And so you can list and you can do the smoke and mirrors in your depth. Well, now, you know, as we start moving into this, the ghosts kind of fade to the back, and what the tape shows is your resume, and it is who you are, right? And so we can kind of hone in a little bit. Now there's a couple guys that, you know, were listed as starters on that deal that weren't dressed. Like, I'm kind of intrigued by, you know, they got a good body type. And number 3, the defensive tackle from SMU, who was not dressed, but I mean, he's 6'3", 290, and, you know, so, like, couldn't find anything out there on the interwebs in terms of, you know, discipline. So is that injury? Is he going to be back, right? Like, so there's some, you're still early on in the season here, chasing what's what and what it's all going to be. But you lean heavily on the tape. And then, again, like, he's been doing this as a head coach for a long time. Has had a tremendous success with it, right? So you can go back and, from a philosophical standpoint, have a good understanding of how he wants to do it and what his philosophy is for winning that he's implementing and building in this new program that, you know, he's doing a good job with.
Comment on Lucky's toughness and burst.
Yeah, he's really tough. He showed a good burst, and when we needed hard yards for him to score, he found a way to get it done.
A lot of NFL coaches, when they play that Thursday night game, and they don't have a game until the following Sunday. They kind of call it a mini bye. Is that kind of how the staff approached this, maybe this past weekend, not having a game?
We have such a unique start to this thing with, the 10-day prep, then we're going into a bye. We've kind of revamped some things in the schedule as is, and we've been talking about it with the team, and it's like we're not even going to feel what a normal 7-day prep is until, week 4, right? So, we've been smart, we've been measured, right? Like it's that fine line, kind of we were having the conversations about like 2-a-days during camp, and is that, was that necessary? All those things, right? Like, so we gave the boys off on Friday after the game. It had been a long camp. It was a really good game, right? And they had earned that. And then, we brought them in on Saturday, and we gave them off yesterday, and we brought them back today. So, again, like it's that dichotomy, right? Of, hey, you got to work and you got to prep and you have this extra time, yet again, I feel like we got a really good team and they're a mature crew. So it's like the biggest thing is that come game day, our guys are feeling good, right? And they're confident in the plan, but physically they're hungry and they're ready to go. So I feel like we built out a good plan, and now we got to go make that right come Saturday night.
Going back to last year at home against the Cougars, it was decided by 15 points in the fourth quarter, especially with this time being over there at their house in Pullman, Washington. Just tell me what's different a year later to ensure a repeat of that will not happen.
Our team's not that team, and their team's not that team. So, and then again, all the work that we've put in, that we've discussed, that, we did the math and we ran it, and Social did an awesome job, kind of with one of the sound bites that they grabbed, right? Like we've invested over 19,800,000 seconds of our lives into this team and pouring into them to do things at an elite level, right? And that investment will continue as we go. And so you lean on that training so that when you get in the moment, again, you're ready to step into it and to do a great job to seize the opportunity that we have come Saturday night.
Coach, looking back at the tape from Saturday, the offense in the third quarter sort of wasn't as effective as the rest of the game. In looking at the tape, did you see anything specific that might have led to that?
Yeah, lack of focus. That's what I was probably most disappointed in, right? And, why I called the team up. There were some things that was happening there in the third that was not who we're going to be. And so I wanted to put a stop to it. And so we addressed it and we corrected it, and game day production did an awesome job with the danger zone for the first time. And maybe we got to flicker the lights a little bit earlier, right, to get the boys refocused and to go. But then we came back and won the danger zone, right? So, our focus waned there for a moment. But the one thing that this team has done, whether it be winter conditioning all the way through training camp in particular, when we've had so much time together, is that they respond. Like there's a burning hunger and a burning desire to be coached, and they respond to the coaching, which is really cool. So they didn't like get in their feels or have an ego about it. They're like, they acknowledge like, yeah, this isn't to our standard, and let's go play. Let's go operate, and let's change the environment, and let's not let the environment dictate to us, what or how we're going to react.
Did Stony Brook do anything defensively that in the third?
No, nothing unique. No. I mean, it was just, again, great program, and coach does a really good job, right? And that's a really good team that, is going to go have success this year. But, I always like to look internally, right? And what can we do better? And I just didn't, again, our focus was not where it needed to be in that moment in time.
You talked about controlling the controllables. What controllables need to be controlled the most to win?
Yeah, our effort, our attitude, our focus, where we put our time and our energy, right? Like campus is alive and well, right? Like it's a day off. There's a lot of distractions that, we live in a great city, right? Like there's a lot of things that are going on here, right? And we're leading a bunch of great young men, but young men can get distracted at times, right? And so one of the biggest controllables is just where are we putting our time, our effort, and our energy? Like in what direction is that pointed? And then to what depth are we really drilling down into it, right? And so like that's our preparation. That's knowing, again, like the calls, the intent of the calls. Why are we making the calls? Why is that call carrying this week, but we didn't carry it last week? Well, these guys are a 4 down front. They're a 3 down front, right? Like there's nuances to each plan that as the plan comes together, like you need to know the why behind the call, not just what the call is, but why are we calling it? How do I execute it? And not just how do I execute it against this one look? Well, what if they throw this problem at me or that problem at me or this problem at me, right? Like you got to have the answers to the test so that come the day of, when everyone turns their eyeballs to it, you can pass the test with flying colors.
Coaches like to say make a big jump between weeks 1 and 2. Is that just because you now know where your team might have strengths versus weaknesses, and going to week 2 you can concentrate on reps to fix things? Is that the big reason you make that jump?
I think it's probably an easy soundbite that coaches say. I think I've said it in the past. I'd like to make continued jumps from week 1 to week 2, from week 2 to week 3, from week 3 to week 4. Because again, right, like if we're going to say, hey, improve and compete today, that means that we keep getting better. And I would rather have consistent gains throughout the year than just this one big intense jump from week 1 to week 2. Like I think consistency beats intensity all the time. So I would like to consistently keep making steady gains, keep making steady improvements, and maximize each opportunity that we get.
1 to 2 different than every other week because you haven't played a game before?
Probably yes, right? Probably yes. But like, yeah, you again, like it's game day. You know, I was joking with Rich about this when we were doing the radio show, right? Like he kind of made the comment, like it's like Christmas morning. You get to go down, open your presents, and actually see what you got, right? The really cool thing, just like Jaden that we discussed, like there wasn't anything that was like shocking or new or surprising. It's like, oh, these guys acted this way through practice. I kind of thought this guy would be this way in the game, and he was, right? Like, I'm not going to use that example, but my guys are my guys. And again, like I feel really connected to this team, and I think this team is really connected with each other. So they've been authentic, they've been vulnerable, they've showed who they are. And again, like we stepped into game day, and everyone got to see us. But I love the way, for the most part, the majority of the night, we were who we were. We didn't let game day change us. Like everyone else happened to see this team work, which is really cool. And I'm very thankful for the fans that showed up and showed out. It was awesome. And I'm thankful for all the fans that have showed up and supported us since day one. And I hope they had a great time and they saw a great team that played hard, that looked focused, was accountable to our standard, that played a smart brand of football, that was tough, that was Aztec fast. And I hope they enjoyed themselves with the music and the game day production and the drinks and the food and the family fun, and realize like, hey, you know what? I can get a ticket for $20-25. And I can show up. And so now I'm going to tell a friend so that in 2 weeks' time, not to look ahead, but in 2 weeks' time when Cal shows up here and we have another opportunity to do this at home, that's even better, and that more people want to come and be a part of it, and everyone else at a grander scale gets to see who these young men are. Because they're great guys, and I feel very humbled to lead them and feel very grateful to do it in the city and to share it with this community, and very, very thankful and appreciative of all the fans that have come out, that were there for Warrior Walk, that are building in the traditions with us, that embraced and enjoyed the danger zone and all those things as we pack Snapdragon, right, by everyone being a friend and telling a friend and getting more people there. It's going to be awesome.
Martin Stadium can be pretty hostile.
Yeah.
3,000 sitting right on top of you.
Yeah.
So what's that like for a young quarterback to go into that type of environment?
Unique challenge, great opportunity. Embrace it. It's part of the job. It's what you wanted. It's why he came here, right? Don't be upset now that, oh, I got to go into a hostile environment. You know what it was, right? Pressure's a privilege, man. Embrace it.
You gather the team together like you did in the third quarter. Is that when you kind of give your elevator pitch as opposed to when you have more time to just really make a point? Or how do you kind of make something resonate in 30 seconds as opposed to when you have more time?
Probably yell a little bit more. And I think the general intensity in that moment, because I don't do that too often, I think they kind of, okay. Like, again, they spend a lot of time around me. And I would like to believe that when they come in the building, they know who I'm going to be. I mean, shoot, all of us have spent a lot of time. Like, you guys have a general idea of what I'm going to be like, right? So, you know, that's the first time ever as a head coach I've ever called the team up in the middle of the game like that. It's the first time I've ever done it. Felt it was important in that moment, right? It's kind of one of those things that we were talking about, like the reflection in the mirror, where I want to be better, like in real time. If there's something that's not to our standard, like I'm not going to wait till Sunday to address that. Like we're going to capture this in the moment, right now, and nip it in the bud.
Did any one particular thing strike you that, like, okay,
Yeah, but that's family business, and so it's been addressed. But yeah, there was a couple small things I'm like, okay, that can wait till Sunday, and then there was something that this isn't going to wait, and we're going to stop this right now.
what were those again?
Family matters.
More questions for Coach? Is there
So
anything
did-
you can tell us about the players coming in that people should know about them that,
Which players coming in? I'm sorry.
I don't know who's coming into the interview room today, so.
Oh, is it Bostic and who? Delshon? Yeah, so Bostic's a wide receiver. Yeah.
Normally know about them that you,
They're both. I mean, they're both great young men. Like you get an opportunity to interact with them. Like they're gonna hate me for saying this, but like they're sweet souls that when they step in between the white lines, like they flip a switch, and it's really cool to see. Like they're two guys that have been through some adverse situations in their own right, that have made them better young men. They're blue collar workers, man, from blue collar families, which is really cool. You know, Bostic's had a unique journey, right? Like this is his third spot, and you know he's just battled through some injuries and worked tremendously hard. And I've known him for a really long time. His dad played at Kent State. We were one of his first offers. Like, you know, this football world is really, really small. And it's awesome to have him here. And then Dell, again, like he came to us, you know, obviously a year ago from Northern Iowa, and Jeremiah Johnson, who was his defensive coordinator there in 2023, was my defensive coordinator at Kent State. And so when you needed a character reference to get some real information about, like, all right, who is this individual? Who's this person? Like the film and their athletic profile, like, yeah, those guys got NFL traits, absolutely, right? But the character of who they are make them a great fit, you know, and Dell's a single-digit guy for a reason, right? Like, he's a tremendous young man that, you know, in a year's time is going to be another one of those guys that's going to be getting recognized by the Senior Bowl and is going to have an unbelievable future and an unbelievable career on Sundays. And I'm very fortunate that he's here with us. And I probably should have said that, because now every single P4 GM in the country is going to slide into his DMs and trying to pull him away from us. So, you know, but they're great young men. And I'm really, really, again, humbled to lead them, humbled to serve them, and they're great guys to have in the locker room that are tremendous leaders in their own right.
guys don't always show up the same way in practice every day.
Absolutely, yeah.
So head coach hyphen football junkie, what did you do with this mini bye week? Did you watch Ohio State? Did you watch?
I was here. I mean, I had some games on, and you know, like it was funny. I got to eat, right? I'm trying to be better about that because I lost a ton of weight last year, which is not good. Shout out Simply G's meal prep, doing a heck of a job on keeping me with some calories. But I was eating, and who was it yesterday? Virginia Tech, South Carolina. They were on, and it was really cool. Like I looked up, and I'm like watching Virginia Tech on offense, and just eating. I'm like, this looks eerily familiar. I thought, who's Virginia Tech's OC now? Oh, it's Philip Montgomery, right? And Philip Montgomery, we're in the same tree. He was one of the guys who was fortunate enough that, again, through this crazy football connection, like spent a little time with me and, you know, taught me how to play this style of ball. But it was like really cool just like see it and like recognize that brand of ball. Like that's someone in the family. Who is that? Who's there? And it was Monty. It was awesome. So, but I didn't get to see a whole lot. So a whole lot of Aztec tape. So a whole lot of Washington State tape. And South Dakota State tape.
Extra attention to Trey White impact the performance of the other guys on defense.
Yeah, I mean, again, allowed those guys to get after it, right? Like when we got to obvious pass situations, those third and longs, for us to be able to get into our rush package, and obviously that's a D&D where everyone knows that Trey's going to be active. Allowed August to get home, allowed Jared to get home, allowed Hendo to have a day. Like I was really pleased with Hendo's effort, man. Like he showed up on third downs, and he's been doing that now, you know, ever since last year. But I thought Hendo really had a physical, you know, fundamental game. That was great to see on first and second down, and looking forward to his continued growth and improvement as attention gets paid to Trey. You know, those other guys got to take advantage of that, and Trey knows what it is now to be the marked man.